I'm just saying it's a layer of Be professional, goddammit.
Me? Professional?
Fuck.
Since when? Okay. There we go. And wow, it never titled. All right. What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to MPX Rehab. I am your host, Jay Williams, the hashtag certified mark, here with my co-host, as always,
The voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
See, you're so much quieter here.
Well, it's because it's my house. I won't scare my cats.
True. Okay, good point. But let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room out of the way. Did you catch the Easter egg on Mainline this week? If you're watching this on video, I'll go ahead and put it up. Apparently, we caught Wesley Crane's apparent retirement on video by accident.
Which, who knows what that actually is. Yes, we understand the synonym as wrestling fans. Yeah, symbolism. That too. Yeah, we get that with the boots, but I can't. Wes is too damn good to retire, and I get physicality and maybe a little mental burnout or something, but man, just he's on such a roll. He's one of the hottest acts right now going, and it's honestly, to me, like, in-ring work is amazing. Yes, I love it. The character work is outstanding. He's so creative. I don't maybe take a month or 2 months off, but don't retire because you're just too damn good.
What really gets me is, like, we also just saw the start of a rivalry between him and Matt Palmer, and I wanted to see that match so much, but
I'm still hoping we will, and I'm hoping it's, not a retirement because I've been to one Wesley Crane retirement match already, so I it's not that I don't believe it. Yeah. It's more of I hope he's okay, because I haven't talked to him because, again, that's not really my line to cross. But it's also just, again, too damn good. And on such a roll, it's hard to believe that would
honestly
be it.
It's like, for me, part of the problem is the fact that it's like, and I say problem, it's like, again, like you said, it's not my call, it's not my deal. I'm not in his body, so I can't really say one way or the other. But it's part of the issue I have with it is that, we've lost so many this year already. And, Livy has just backed up her, just announced that she's backing up her retirement. She's going to have her last MPX match this Saturday.
Yep. And with Baby D, and then
Frankie earlier this year, Hardakis late last year. And
we'll probably talk about it more when we get into it, but Jamie and Kirby's seems like it's really building to, look, one of them seriously might be gone. And at first, I'm like, oh, it's a storyline, cool, but with the way the Baby D thing went down, I could easily see one of them saying, no, I'm done too. And it's just, we're losing a lot of our pillars and a lot of our favorites left and right. And yes, the future is still bright, and yes, this is more of just us being fans, being like, look, man, we don't want you to go. And again, like we said with Baby D, we're not in their body, so if they're truly done, they're truly done. I understand that, because I do want them to, be walking and be conscious enough. Yeah. Because wrestling does take a toll. I prefer them to
retire when retiring is a choice, not something that has to be forced due to injury.
Yep, and that's one thing. Like, I mean, again, like we said, we've seen some wrestlers come back. Even, Frankie's come back for technically a match at the Scooby-Doo.
And he keeps teasing.
And he's teasing the Rumble, and that's, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed if, one, he's not in the Rumble, or two, he's not fighting Tatum one-on-one.
Yeah.
But
either or would be nice.
Yeah. It's, again, to Wes, man, it's just too damn good right now. And I get if you're injured, take some time off, but don't play with the fans' hearts with the boots in the ring, man. It's like, don't.
This is all said out of love. This is all said out of love. It's not because, we're trying to judge you or anything. We're just,
not at all.
It's the fact that it's like, come on, man, we don't want you to go.
Right. We don't want you to go. And it's honestly, I don't know. It's just some fan friendly advice of, look, man, the momentum's there. You're creatively right now. You're one of the best ones we've seen.
You're still one of the top faces in the company, and you don't even have to have the belt.
Not even just an MPX, man. Just the creativeness that comes out of him in his character. with his vignettes on his own, not necessarily. MPX hasn't necessarily put his videos in the show.
Yeah.
But if you go to his page, he's got lots of just Wesley Crane hype videos, essentially. So
yeah.
It is something I hope, one, that maybe we're reading too much into it, or two, it's a reconsideration. Because, yeah, it's, like I said, yeah, we've lost a lot already as far as wrestlers kind of retiring and going, but it's also, to me, man, it's more of the, man, just the creativeness and how good he was. Because, yeah, him and Dimitri both were going up to Indiana sometimes. So he's one of those I really do think we could see him elsewhere. And I would love to see that. I just, like I said, if it's injuries and maybe a little mental burnout, yeah, take some time, maybe a month or two to it. Don't let the creative juices die, and don't let that momentum kind of stop and slow down,
Yeah. But speaking of momentum, let's go ahead and start talking about Black Saturday, which was a good show despite a couple of changes, apparently. Jamie Aller and Stephen Kirby were supposed to sit down with Richard Hill to, I guess, hash out the terms of what's going to happen December 19th between the two of them to see who comes out on top, who's still with the company, who still owns the company, things like that. And, cards subject to change, even the non-fighting vignettes and the like. And we got a 5-minute tirade from Jamie on video.
Which, I mean, I loved, personally.
He was great. It's just at the same time, it's like the man starts talking, he keeps talking.
He keeps talking, but the thing is, I think people were listening. It wasn't, say, other times people have done a vignette or talked on the mic on the video, and people talk over it to the point where even sometimes I've had to say, we're trying to listen, stuff like that. No, but it seemed like everyone was really in tune, and people were even doing it as if he was there live, being like, that's not true, bullshitting with him. I enjoyed the video. I guess, say, if I'm running a show, I could see it being a little long.
It's
as a fan,
and it's probably even that it was long. It's just, honestly, the whole night was kind of low energy, and it's not the fault of the wrestlers at all. It's just, I guess, the weather. It
was a little rainy, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's the biasness of a fan of Jamie Aller. Yeah. I thought the video was great. I thought he truly sold what the 19th degree, what this Ultimate Surrender match is going to be. He sold it to, look, this company is no longer big enough for Stephen Kirby and for Jamie Aller. And it's one of those where, it's, one's got to go type thing. So as a fan, it's really cool. But then as someone who loves both these men, I don't want either one of them to go, because as we've already stated with Wes, we're losing a lot. And I'm tired of losing.
And it's like this actually leads to one of my worries when we start doing Mainline Live. We talked about the fact that it was going to be a 5-on-5 match, but we didn't mention anything about the Ultimate Surrender part.
Which
we skipped a lot of details through a lot of matches that I just look at and go, oh, geez.
But yeah, Ultimate Surrender.
Hopefully we'll fix that by the time we start going live.
Being old school war games pretty much without the cage. At least if that's how I'm understanding what we're being told. Ultimate Surrender, there's, no pinfall. You have to give. One of your people on your team has to give. And it's just, I love old school war games. Not what they do now is okay. But it's not, the old school war games from the 80s with, the Four Horsemen and stuff like that was just amazing. And it seems like that's what we're getting. And at first I had thought, we had kind of joked around like, oh, well, we know it's going to be Larger Than Life, Jackson, Joe. Oh, and I guess Jamie's going to don the Larger Than Life tights again. So it'll be Jamie.
Which, those were really cool.
Yeah, and I was like, cool.
We'll talk about that one later, but we got a heck of a twist on that. So,
yes, and I'm excited. Someone came home.
Yes. It makes me excited to see, because now I really want to see what the response to that is going to be. But let's go ahead and start with the actual show from the matches. Dmitry Alexandrov versus Joe Angelo Garcia started out the night, and this is how I could tell that it was just low energy and it wasn't the wrestlers, because you're putting Dmitry and Joe together in a match. That's going to be an exciting match, but honestly, everybody outside of the ring just seemed tired, and it's like I was almost disappointed.
Yeah, it's I don't know, holiday hangover maybe. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was.
Oh yeah, absolutely enjoyable match.
Phenomenal match. Because again, like we've said for the past couple of months, we've had Joe just gets better and better, and put him in there with anyone, and it's match of the night. And Dimitri's on that role where technically now he's a former MPX champion. And he's again one of those that doesn't want to be stopped. He wants to prove that every time he goes out there, it's all eyes should be on him. Yes. He should be the main focus. When you leave, you should just be remembering Dimitri's match and how great it was. And he keeps doing so well at it time and time again. I mean, these two men were both just on fire, and it's one of those where they're both going and they're just finally going to meet, and it was beautiful. I thought the match was really good.
And the fact that it ended in such a way that it like kept both of them looking as strong as they are. It's like with Sky coming out and attacking Dimitri, another thing we forgot to mention on Mainline.
We're live, pal.
Yeah. But with that happening, and with like after that, Joe like picking up the pin despite the fact that he lost by DQ.
Nope, he got the pin. The ref counted 1, 2, 3, therefore it counts.
Man, just like things you pay $3 million for.
I thought it was great. I thought that was an awesome little thing because it's not. They didn't ask Sky to go do that, and so of course Joe's like, no, that wasn't. We didn't ask that. Therefore, it's not an RDQ. Count the pin.
Do the pin.
It was great, and then it also continues how Sky and Dimitri they're on a collision course, and it's just continuing another great storyline that when it finally reaches its boiling point, is going to be good.
It's going to be fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to see that. But the match itself was, it's like, just honestly, you had Dimitri's power versus Joe's speed, and it just like had that David versus Goliath kind of thing. But if you know who Joe is, it's a little less of that same disparity.
Yep.
Because he's just that good.
Yeah, he is. It's one of those where I'm not doing a full comparison of Rey Mysterio, but Joe's our little underdog that you cannot, that no matter who he's in the ring against, it could be, when Rey was against Big Show, there were times where people were like, oh yeah, Rey's could win. Joe's like that. Like you said, it's David versus Goliath, but it's not necessarily that, because while Joe may look kind of small, you can't count Joe out.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
So it's kind of, same with Prince Adam. Prince Adam's gotten to the point to me to where every time I see him, no matter who he's against, he'll be
there's a chance.
Exactly. Even, when he was against Big Fitz, I was like, oh yeah, Prince Adam could easily. And then they happen. I go, oh, maybe not easily, but he could still do it.
He could pull out a win,
And it's the same with Joe. Every time I see Joe in the ring, it doesn't matter who he's against. I'm like, all right, 1, I'm going to get a great match.
Yeah.
And then 2, I'm like, you know what? Joe could actually pull this out. So it's, again, I'm happy he's back. I'm hoping it kind of sticks and we get him more and more like we have been, because
it's been fantastic. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's like, I've been intimating it and talking about it before. It's like maybe get him going towards a singles title run finally.
Prospect title's open.
Prospect title. Addicts title. I know everybody's still hot on Tatum, but the Addicts title, maybe send him after the big title if,
eventually the Addicts will pop the balls of Tatum out of their mouths, and eventually,
Oh, the shit we say on the show.
This is why we still need Mainline the way it is.
But so that match is great, and I really want to see what's going to happen in the future with these two. I mean, will Dimitri join Kirby's team after what happened here?
Listen to all the Addicts, yeah. And I mean, if it wasn't for Dimitri already kind of being focused on Sky and possibly having some other ulterior motive, I would clearly be like, oh yeah, Kirby could go with Dimitri, but I don't really want that. Like, and we'll talk about it later. I have my kind of
incoming cat.
Hi, you making your appearance, buddy?
Of course he is.
I have kind of like my ideal kind of dream scenario, which we'll talk about later with Kirby's team. But people could see Dimitri being in it just because he's one of the top guys right now. I want him to focus on the Sky, on Sky, not the Sky. Well, no, focus on Sky too. But I want more of him going after that title, not necessarily worried about the Kirby fight.
But we do know two people who are definitely going to be on Kirby's side in this, because the next match was Casey Clay, Noah Navarre, and Nate Collins taking on Menage a Trois and Sebastian Envy, which I have to say, it's like, it was a strange team up, but it still worked out because
the
that
adult
was the level
film director and the adult stars working together. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
See,
we'll go with that.
It works.
Yeah. But like I was saying, like I've intimated, and honestly, it's like I go full heel. Yeah, sure. But much, much better match than last week. Oh.
So you're saying you don't want Rivera back?
No.
You don't want Sebastian to have a rematch with Rivera?
I don't know. Maybe if Rivera, kind of ups his game a little bit, sure. But
this I thought was good because we've seen how, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I think one of the hardest things, and granted, this is me just completely talking my ass. Mm-hmm. I feel 6-mans would be so hard to work for rookies. Yet, if you look at their career, that's primarily what they've done.
Yeah,
and they do it well.
They've had a bunch of singles. They have had a couple of actual tag matches, mm-hmm. but then they've had a whole bunch of the 6-man tags.
And I get that in 6-man you can kind of hide a little more,
mm-hmm.
so you can keep, if you're, you can focus the vet out there more and hide the rookie a little bit.
We apologize for if the camera is blocked in any way, but
it's pretty.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure people would rather look at him than either of us.
Yeah, of course. I know Dexter would.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those where, they've worked them so well and they've worked so many mm-hmm. that, like you said, the teamwork, it's a little weird, the pairings, but they made sense because obviously our tag division is pretty much the rookies and Menage a Trois. And then we've got Sebastian and Nate already focused on their feud.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the match I thought was laid out and performed really well.
It really was. I mean, it's like you had Sebastian Envy. It was like it looked like it was going to be Nate and Sebastian starting it out, but Sebastian's like, no, we're not filming this scene yet, and I'm just like, oh, perfect. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm all in on the director,
mm-hmm.
cinephile, whatever it is. I still want to use Black Kubrick because I like it.
Oh yeah, no,
even though, but it kind of pains me that you did it. And I was like, oh, well, I can't use it then. I'm not allowed to use your stuff. It's never good.
Hey! You correct me on Mr. Match of the Night all the time.
This one I thought was good. And yeah, I like how he's got a script, and it's always no, not yet, not doing this. No, mm-hmm. I thought it was great, and again, I thought the pairing of him with Menage a Trois was good. Gave that little, like I said, that comedy balance of, it's, mm-hmm. In my head, it's the adult director and the adult stars doing something. I thought it was great. And mm-hmm. then to have the rookies and Nate, the rookies were there as a team. It didn't seem Nate was really team-like with them, which is, again, they're never a team, so I get that.
And it's like Nate is still actually somewhat new. He's as mm-hmm. new as Ryan. They were actually against each other in the same running up for Rookie of the Year with the offshoots and everything. And
apparently aren't dead. Thought they were, but no,
the offshoots are not. They're not dead. He's just not doing it the same way he did it before. Or at least as far as I understand. I mean, heck, we've seen what, it's like he gave a Hall of Fame induction to
that's why I was like, they're not dead, because apparently there's a Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah. So. But, it's like he's still somewhat new, and honestly, it's like he hasn't had a chance to work with Casey and Noah before, mm-hmm. and so this was completely new. And it's like you can also look at it as he's concentrated on getting his revenge against Envy, which he's still going to have to wait for, because Envy won the match with that running flatliner as soon as Nate came into the ring, that last moment.
Yeah, he
beautiful hit.
Nailed the pay dirt drive by, whatever.
Yeah,
Shelton Benjamin called it, and now MVP, and now him, Sebastian, which hopefully he's got a name for it and something movie related.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to talk to him about that. Because I do like it. It's one of those you hit quick. And I thought Nate sold it beautifully.
Oh, he did.
It was, again, I thought it was a great way to end the match, because at first you're one of those things where I thought Sebastian and Nate aren't going to get that kind of one up. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to be, CJ Penn's Noah or something, or the other way around.
No,
Larry
no,
or CJ takes the fall.
We got the
And
story continued between Nate and Sebastian,
Exactly.
which just actually is going to fuel the rivalry between them. And I'm really glad that this didn't, end up as the blow off for that feud as well, because that's.
No, I would assume we'll have a definite one-on-one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I thought it was a good end for the way it was, and the match, like I said, the match was laid out good. I'm really impressed with Casey Noah and how well they work, not just with each other, but everyone. So.
Then moving on from there, we had Dexter Hardaway and Mars Lewis, and man, oh man, this match started rough.
Purple Texas.
Yeah.
It's one of those where, last time I had said, Joe's too fast for Mars. Maybe Mars is just timing off in general.
Well,
it got there. Don't get me wrong, because I like Mars. The past 2 times we've seen him, I want more of him.
Yeah, and he's a great performer. Honestly, it's like we've talked about it before. You've had 2 great performers in which you think you're expecting a top of the line match, but for some reason they just
sometimes chemistry's just off.
Yeah, they don't click, and that's what it looked like at the beginning of this match.
It looked at the beginning, and then I want to say that Dexter slowed it down to where it was manageable. And
it also looked like
good.
Dexter got a bit hot on that one and just started laying into Mars for real on that too. And that really just kind of set the tone as the 2 of them went at it.
And that may be, but it saved the match.
It did. It's like it went from a quote unquote choreographed match to a real fight, and it looked fantastic as a real fight.
It like I said, like you were, because at first I kind of forgot. You're like, yeah, it didn't start out. I was like, no, it was good, man. Oh yeah, no, the first couple of minutes were a little rough.
Like it didn't suck. It was rough. The timing was just that much off.
And it's like you said, sometimes good just because you're a great performer doesn't mean you can work with it. Or like Austin and Undertaker have both said we hated working each other because we never had good chemistry. All our matches sucked.
Yeah, and they loved each other. They
exactly
had so much respect for each other.
They have they're 2 of the best workers, and you look at them and you're like, oh, these are going to be a great match. And then something was always off.
I mean, hell, actually, is. If we're going to talk Big Fed, there was a match that I was really, really looking forward to of the Hardys turning on each other finally, and I thought I was going to get a fantastic match out of that. But the first time they went at each other, it was just
trying to remember. I know WrestleMania 25 was all right.
It was,
but they had fought before that.
Yeah, they fought before that when he first started the V1 thing, and it just left me, kind of like I was expecting Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, and I got that.
Yeah, but then you got all the Broken Hardy stuff in TNA, and that was decent.
Yeah, it's like it. And that's just further proof that sometimes you have great performers who just don't work against each other well. I was like, who knows? Maybe if Mars and Dexter were to team up, they'd make a hell of a tag team.
Well, I think Dexter refuses to work with Purple Texas again, apparently.
Maybe.
He refuses to say that's an actual city.
Yeah. But I got to say, it was a lot of fun with this because it started out with Mars basically calling out Dexter. It's like, I think he's got something. It's like, and Dexter's got brass knuckles.
Which is just, that's profiling, sir. He did not check Mars. He only checked Dexter.
Yeah. But
that is wrong. Again, if Johnny Cochran was alive, Dexter would have a case.
Maybe. But Mars winning that one with that beautiful scissor kick where it just like that just furthers my thing of I wonder how much of it was just stiffing each other.
Yeah.
Because ow.
Yeah, it did. It looked pretty rough. And again, like I said, I want to see him back more. I really enjoyed the past couple times we've had him, and I've enjoyed him every time he's been around. Really, I think about it. I'm glad there's no more Sabretooth because that never really made sense to me to begin with.
Yeah.
And I like how he came out in different gear because we've always seen the black and blue, the Sabretooth guy. Now he's got actual purple gear with Purple Texas. I think it's better.
Yeah, and it matches MPX perfectly.
Yeah, well, of course. So, yeah, it was good.
And let's see. After that, this match is what led to just probably a couple of the greatest twists in the whole night, in which Larger Than Life was going to defend their MPX Tag Team Championships against the Dream Team of JD Griffey and Matt Palmer.
And they did nothing to get that title shot.
And
except be some some of the greatest MPX champions ever.
I was going to say, it's like...
but then again, like I said...
Maybe not as a team, but they definitely did it, individually.
But like I said, if you look at the history, they're bitter rivals. They're not allowed to be a team. I don't care what the real life friendship is. They're rivals.
And the whole night, Palmer is like, there's a cannibal running around here. I've got to go do something about that. And then you point out, it's like, actually, there's two of them. And Griffey's just like, no.
I think that was my favorite things of the night was he's like, I got to chase a cannibal. Technically, there's two. There's two? And then just Jerome like, no, man.
It was great. Oh, man. That is fan interaction at its peak, in my opinion.
And that's what's great about not just MPX, but small indies. Is you get that instant gratification, which
absolutely
we'll talk about later, and I'm sure someone will get mad at me when we talk about it. But yeah, I had another moment like that in the night.
But it was like the match was good. Like, it looked like it was, Larger Than Life was trying to prove that they're the better tag team because they're an actual tag team, whereas JD and Matt were just thrown together.
Right.
And it's like JD and Matt are just like, oh, really? And started to show them up. And it went great until, for some reason, just this video of Sky and Dimitri fighting each other, and then Wesley gets involved in it.
Whoever works our camera truck, my God. There's a match going on. We don't need to see that right now.
We don't need that interruption. But it's like, and it interrupted to the point that Matt had to, felt he had to ditch the tag match to go and deal with
He had a chance to go hunt two cannibals and a bear fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a monster too. So
I guess, yeah.
I mean, yeah. So.
But leaving with...
Jerome
poor Jerome all on his own, and unfortunately he just as good as he is, this is Mr. Match of the Night, and
it's the greatest unsigned tag
the Tommy
team.
Becker, as he couldn't match up to it on his own, and but it didn't end so badly for him.
Which, I mean, while we're talking about the little video, that butterfly pile driver, I forget what it's called, the underhook pile driver that Pat Palmer gave Wes in the bed of that truck. Holy shit.
Oh, the fact that he did it in the truck, and it's like, I think I know why Wes retired.
Well, and because I believe he just posted it. What are we filming, Tuesday now? He just posted it a couple hours ago, and I saw it in slow-mo with Palmer doing it. I was like, holy shit. Oh, yeah. It looked beautiful, and even slow-mo, it looks more deadly.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that match, like you said, great tag match. As much as I love Larger Than Life when they're the goofy kind of, what they do, like kind of like this with Palmer and Jerome.
Yeah.
I like the serious that we get with Larger Than Life. And I do like how they can flick a switch and they do both.
Go from one to the other.
But man, when we were on that roll a couple months back, even before pre-COVID, where we were all serious Ryan, all serious Tommy. Oh, it was beautiful. Maybe a little more of that and less on the comedy, but
maybe
I like them either way. They truly are. It's not, to me, it's not a slogan or a catchphrase. They are the greatest unsigned.
They really are, honestly. But Ryan making a case to recruit Griffey after that, and that led to some interesting stuff later on in the night.
Yeah, and I like how. Okay, I don't like how Jamie's not there, but I like how Ryan got a chance to talk. Because we don't hear Ryan talk a lot, or Tommy. And it was good. I mean, I thought he did very well with the mic. I thought he did very well, persuading Jerome technically, or selling him, or whatever he was trying to do. But no, it was, like I said, we'll talk about it later, but the crown jewel finally came home.
And then we got the match that we'd been building to for a couple of weeks, and I was here for it.
I want more.
It looks like we might get more with how that ended.
We should. That should have been a DQ. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah, sure.
It really should have been. That's in the rules. That's a DQ.
Yeah, but it's like Exodus has done the same and walked away with a win instead.
Not true.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tatum and Exodus. The trash talk alone is just worth it.
These two. It's like, honestly, it's like it makes it really difficult to remember that these two are as new as they are in the business.
Yeah. Again, eventually I think the addicts are going to stop with so much Tatum love. Not that Tatum doesn't deserve it. Tatum has the love, but maybe dial it back a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Him literally dressing up as The Rock for that video promo.
Yeah. I was wondering if I was the only one that caught that. Apparently not. I think MPX even pointed it out.
Yeah, it's like, well, they pointed it out, but honestly, it's like almost like no. Let the ones who know catch it, and the ones who don't be like, huh?
Because Time Warp's coming up. He's got to find a $500 silk shirt to use, so we get True Rock. But no, Rock and Exodus I thought was great. It was, again, there's something about these two, we're talking about with chemistry. It's there. I mean, it's there in their little promo battles on Facebook. It's there with the trash talk. And then in the ring, their styles mash so well together.
They do. And it's just like, it leaves me wanting more. I'm actually glad this ended on a quote unquote controversy and everything like that, because that leaves the door open for a third match between the two of them. And
hopefully, man, we get a 2 out of 3 falls. We get a, last man standing, something that's like a definitive.
Well, maybe not a 2 out of 3 falls, because we've already gotten that with Exodus.
Well, right. Exodus and Dimitri. That's right. But yeah, something where we get a definitive winner, last man standing. Because we haven't really had a last man standing in MPX, have we? The last one was Kirby and Fisher, I think, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
And that was 4 years ago. Maybe?
Yeah, it's like I've seen the history of it, but I didn't. See it,
so that would be really cool, And again, like we had joked, Tatum always has a new shirt. I think he finally found one that sticks, and I want it. And guess what? It's finally for sale.
He's actually going to be selling it. I want one as well, because
I believe the very first thing he popped out, I go, why is that not for sale?
Yeah, no, it definitely needs to be, because just damn,
if that's going to be your catchphrase, and he's used it for the past ever since Purple Rain.
What's funny is I've actually seen it start to pop up on other places. Really? Like Facebook and Twitter have nothing to do with MPX or Tatum. And I was just like, are these fans? Is this something that Tatum picked up from elsewhere?
Right now, I was going to say, no, you got Tatum's head really big. Like, oh, I've got something trendy.
Yeah, let's hope.
Wasn't that the Rock and Cena where something was always trending worldwide, whatever the Rock said? So, yeah, that's Tatum. He's got say it with your chest trending.
But Tatum coming out with a win after he turned the tables on Exodus's attempt to kick the rope into his, jewels and everything. So he just turned it around on him and did it to him instead.
And that's a DQ, ref. I don't know what you're looking at. Travis Bambi. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
And neither do I, and I didn't write it down this time.
How dare you?
Yeah, well. But so I'm really hoping for more of that. But after that, we definitely did kind of want more of Jackson Stone, Stephen Kirby going up against each other. And we're going to get more of this later, but
Spoiler.
Yeah. It's like this match was a clinic for these two.
Yes.
It was just these two showing that they are who they are, and there's a reason they're as good as they are.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think a lot of people, I don't want to say it's kind of, I'm not trying to downplay Kirby, but the fact that it very is reminiscent, and you can kind of compare it to Al Snow. Al Snow is a phenomenal worker, but he's such a damn good trainer that the training kind of overshadows his work. And Kirby, to me, has been really good ring-wise. Like I said, I thought my favorite Kirby was the everyone's an asshole, the greatest human being alive.
Yeah.
That to me was really good Kirby. I saw a clip, I think someone posted it a couple of days ago, maybe last week, of Blind Justice.
Oh, jeez.
Everyone hates that, but I really wish.
No, I loved it. I thought it was a great thing. I just, unfortunately,
I wish we was a little more, because one, Ray Ortiz is great. Riker James was kind of good. And we just didn't really get that full transition of it.
Yeah.
And it
had Joe in it.
Yeah. And I don't know, just to see Kirby in a different thing. But that's the thing, like we had talked about, a couple weeks ago with Mr. Mayhem. Like, to me, the greatest human being alive, Mr. Mayhem, those are the two best Kirbys. And when I first started going to MPX, I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of Kirby's work. And I don't think it's because I don't think I appreciated it. Like, it wasn't until I realized, oh, he's the trainer of MPX. And then once I got to know him and hear him talk wrestling, he knows, like, oh my God, it's amazing.
He knows what he's doing.
And then you see the people he's trained, you're like, holy shit, this guy he's good. He knows his shit. And then I don't know, there's just something clicked, and he's been on a roll for these past couple of years, and they just again get better and better. And then him and Jackson, it's that whole father son type dynamic, and trainee and trainer and student and stuff, and it's always going to be that. And we're always going to it's going to be Ryan and Kirby. They're always going to be that father son trainer student scenarios.
Yeah.
And they were good because even though Jackson's technically the bigger star, Kirby brings him down. Like you can see that. Like you can see Jackson immediately going there, I'm the bigger star, and then Kirby knocks him down back to his level, and it's great.
Yeah. And well, it's like it ended controversially, we'll call it.
The way it should have.
With the rest of all those guys coming in and, you know, just beating up on Kirby. And then you had the inevitable turn. You had the rookies and you had JD coming out, and it looked like JD was going to be teaming up with him. But then before they even get to the ring, Griffey grabs Noah by the hair and just slams him into the stairs, taking him out right at the beginning, and then proceeds to beat on poor Casey. And it's like, this made sense. I liked the turn. Just something about it. It just felt like it was too quick. Not too quick as in, you know, oh, well, Griffey should have waited another night to do it. No, it's maybe he should, like, I think he should have let them get in the ring and then turn on everybody.
I don't know. I liked it. The only thing I hated from it is the fact that Jamie couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Just because, man, if Jamie's there to sell that, like, even if we had a video pop up after that saying, welcome home, Jerome, or something like that, would have been amazing.
Just, yeah, like, pretty much like Isaac coming in with
exactly. Just a little floating head talking, you know. Yeah. But no, again, because we had always, you know, what if Larger Than Life and the Trust Fund kind of finally met, and we're getting that. We've got Jerome and Joe, and now we've got Larger Than Life. I mean, all we need now is Victor Tadlock, and it is and Dave, and we've got Larger Than Life and the Trust Fund all together. So
yeah,
which, you know, also fun side fact, Kirby also was part of Trust Fund, but you know that was old. It was great, and this is the other one where I had instant gratification, where I yelled at Jackson to chop Casey. And he said,
jeez.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Casey, it's his fault. His fault.
It wasn't my fault to go all that, which I think because it was funny, because I think Casey actually took offense to that, and well, that didn't work out well for Casey.
No, and you know, it's like Jackson put him down pretty hard on that one.
I love Jackson, and I even said, I was like, "Thank you, love you," because it was brilliant. And again, that's that fun fan interaction we get.
And it's like I'm looking at it like this is where it's hard for me for the character of the Certified Mark, is like, because I watch stuff like that and I'm laughing my ass off. Jamie comes up and he starts laying into me or anybody else, and I'm just like, I'm so glad I've got the mask, because I've got this big shit-eating grin on my face because I'm loving every moment of it. And it's like, I'm supposed to be the one that hates the heels doing this stuff. Like, boo! How dare you?
Well, it's okay. We've got Doug to do that now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, how great is Exodus to get Doug to cheer for Tatum?
I know, right?
But no, this match was good. And then, yeah, it's obviously an shenanigans, which you know it's going to, because it's all building. So like you said, yes, it's obviously probably Kirby and the rookies. And we know all five of Jamie's team.
Yeah, we've got Jamie's team taken care of now. So we just need to find out what the response will be.
There's two scenarios I really like that I'll throw out. And of course, we'll probably be wrong, or people will say, oh, you know, no, I don't know anything. This is me literally just guessing. I would love Tatum and Lakes, because it's all rookies. It's all people Kirby trained.
Yeah.
Tatum's also one of the hottest people right now, so I think it would kind of make sense. And then Lakes, just because, yeah, like I said, it's the, you know, rookie.
But at the same time, Tatum has a title to defend, and we could see the blow off between him and Exodus.
And it's not even that. It's also, I could also see the argument of, look, Tatum's so hot right now by himself. Let's not input that somewhere else. Yeah. Especially something that doesn't need, I can't believe I'm going to say this, that doesn't need the Tatum rub. It doesn't need Tatum manning.
He's not menage a trois anymore.
Well, no, it's not even that. They don't need Tatum's hotness right now to rub off on this match. This match itself is already hot, and everybody wants to see it. It's, you know, like in the 80s where they sprinkled Hogan dust everywhere. We don't need Tatum dust on this.
I don't know. I put my dream team out there, and I know it's not going to happen, but you know.
Well, and the other one I would love is maybe Frankie do come back, and either someone from Jamie's past, like maybe if Victor Tadlock had one match, that would be cool. Instead of joining Jamie and them, he joins Kirby, or Hardak is coming back for one. Just because, you know, we already saw if something's going too one way, Hardak is there to set things right. Yeah. Which, I don't know. There's also Big Fitz.
Yeah.
I mean, we say there's not a lot of options for Kirby, but there is if you think about it.
I was like, heck, we could see, it's like as much as both of us are like, I don't know if I want to see a face version of this, but Michael Schaefer could come back. You know, it's like, I have learned my ways, and my legacy will be to, you know, defend the legacy of MPX or something along those lines.
Or he just comes back and, you know, somehow Jamie got to him and turns on Kirby anyways. And that's a destruction within. Yeah. We could also see that, like, what was it? When Kurt Hennig joined the NWO instead of the Horsemen. Mm-hmm. How they handcuffed everyone, beat the shit out of Flair, and finally Benoit's like, all right, we quit. Yeah. We could see that. Like, you know, something happens, they all get tied up, and Casey has to submit because they're just beating the shit out of Kirby. I mean, who knows? Like I said, I think it's going to be a big surprise. And I don't want to say big surprise, but I think they're going to kind of shock people with the final two. Yeah. And we may be completely wrong. It may not be the rookies at all. Like, Kirby may say, no, guys, look, I need bigger reinforcements, which that's, you know, one good way to kind of piss them off to turn them. But, you know, again, this is all fantasy booking. We don't know anything. Yeah. And it's like, because like I said, I put mine as Frankie, Baby D, Jason Silver. I know. And the only reason I'm very adamant about that is because we had a very nice send off. We don't need a pink suit moment. We're getting, you know, a nice send off at Mission Pro. Just think of when Flair had his beautiful send off and then ruined it by wrestling for Impact. Yeah. No, and I completely agree with you on that. It's, like I said, it's not going to happen, like, but a man can dream. I guess it was you. I didn't know it was you. When I read that, I was like, no. No, I knew it wasn't going to happen. I know it's definitely not going to happen, but I'm like I said, it's like a man can dream. And of course, you know, it'll be Mr. America. She'll wear a mask or something. And it's not Baby D. It's Miss Texas. Exactly. But no, I'm really looking forward. I kind of hope we get like maybe four announced for Kirby, and there's one surprise that's revealed at Cold Day in Hell. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. That would be really awesome. And then again, you know, there's also Palmer, so that's like he'll be mad at Jerome now. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah, although Jerome should be mad at him. Yeah, he was the one that was left. Very true. Very true. But then, of course, the main event, the one that just kind of it left us with I wouldn't say more questions than answers, but definitely with it did a little bit until that video surfaced, and now it's kind of done. But yeah, because I mean, we really, at least I was, because it's obviously also three of my favorites, so I'm looking forward to it. But it was it looked like we were building to a West Sky Dimitri fight for the title. Yeah. Which would be amazing. Yeah. And I love what Wes said at the beginning of the match. It's like, as far as that's not your title, and as far as I'm concerned, it's not mine either. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to take that title and give it back to who it belongs to. Yeah. It's like, holy crap. I thought that was really cool. And I don't know. In the moment, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Now that I think about it, I'm like, but no, wait. Who does not want the title for themselves? Wait a minute. How does that, that doesn't, how, what? Now, if you give Dimitri a shot, okay, fine. I understand that. Yeah. But not that you're just going to give it to Dimitri. No, sir. But no, I thought it was great. These two men obviously beat the hell out of each other. Oh, jeez. I was like, honestly, I think if it weren't for the limitations we have due to COVID, this probably would have ended in blood, too. Oh, of course. Every match with West or Sky, even Wesley's Ways, every match would have had blood, because blood is needed sometimes. Says the man. He's like, okay, so is the ring sacred, or is it all about blood? The ring is sacred for some matches. Now, other matches, you are allowed to have death match and beat the shit and kill each other. It's true. But it's like this was a hell of a match, and honestly, the fact that Wesley got the just wind knocked out of him earlier in the night just kind of made it, a little more easier for people to accept that Sky just beats him. I love how they both kicked out of the finish. Mm-hmm. Sky kicked out of the Hill Stomp bitch, and Wes kicked out of Death by Stereo, and we may have to look back, and I might be wrong. I don't think anyone's kicked out of Death by Stereo in a really long time. Not in a while. I mean, it's like but then again, it's like every time it was somebody that you could conceivably see kicking out of it, like Jason, it's like he's not done there. He does Death by Stereo, and he's like, nope, not done. Does another one, does another one, does another one, and they're just dead. And then we had that new, I guess, not necessarily finish, but the new move that he pretty much had to pull out to say, no, Wes is dying. Mm-hmm. That beautiful, I don't know, kind of like a burning hammer a little bit. Just was beautiful how he ended it. And then how Wes, it was 1, 2, 3. I thought that's a good way to solidify Sky as the champion. And then it also at the end of this we saw that it's not over with him and Dimitri. Yeah, which obviously we knew it wasn't from earlier tonight, but to immediately have Dimitri's music hit and him run out and them just beat each other back and forth, I thought was a good way to end the night for what was a crazy night essentially. Yeah. And, well, it's like that was that show. And honestly, it's with what we have found out for next week and what we found out between the times and everything like that, I'm really looking forward to it. And we'll get to that right after this. And we're back. And honestly, Public Enemies this weekend is going to be pretty intense just from the few matches we've had announced and some of the information we've already gotten. It's going to be pretty heavy, and it's all leading up to December 19th here. Yep. It's like the start to that March, and it makes me really sad that you're not going to be there. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be there Saturday. No, you're not. Oh, wow. That literally did just dawn on me. I was like, I'm not going to be there. It's like, hopefully, it's like I've got something else lined up for that. Stay tuned for Mainline next week. It'll be interesting to see the least. Yeah, I'm sure this will be great. But Public Enemies. I gotta say, it's just like the first match that we're going to talk about it makes perfect sense because it's JD Griffey versus Casey Clay. Casey trying to get revenge against Griffey. And honestly, we keep talking about how every week Casey just gets better and better and better. And honestly, if there's anything that's going to like propel him to the top, it's going to be him and JD. It's like my teacher always said, you're going to learn today. Oh, Casey's he's going to learn in that ring against Jerome. It's like he's going to get his ass kicked, and it's going to teach him so much, and he is going to be that much better for it. Yeah, it's the grappling alone is going to be great to see because we haven't seen Jerome, I think, in this good of a matchup singly since he's come back. Yes, the him and Dexter match was, it was good. It was entertaining because they know how to put on good entertaining matches. Exactly. But it's like we said, we're like, well, this doesn't fit Jerome's style. Casey's going to try to do Jerome's style, and I think it's going to be good. And it's going to, it's like, and we're going to see how good Casey can really be with this because he's going to go up against a top level talent. I mean, somebody who seriously shouldn't be on the indies, in my opinion, because he should be up there on the big TV stuff. He's trying for it, but he'll be there sooner or later. We'll see him in Florida real soon, I think. Oh yeah, but Jerome and Casey's going to be great. It's like I even joked. I was like, "Oh, is Jerome still doing the body bag thing?" Because I think this is a match for it. Because this is going to be great. I definitely really hope it's okay. I don't hope for Casey's destruction, but I do hope there's like a knockout or submission, something definitive to really, not necessarily propel Jerome, but to really solidify. Look, Jerome's not to be messed with. And it really makes you wonder whether it's like, are any of these matches going to end clean? Because it's like they've got two teams and it's like, I don't know if it's going to be War Games or Survivor Series or what. It's the Ultimate Surrender. I can only hope that it is more War Games like as opposed to the 10-man Survivor Series tag. Two teams who are going to have each other's back. So therefore, if one gets involved, the other is likely to get involved as well, even if the numbers are currently uneven. Right. We could see those numbers, that gap close. And hey, again, he is just all sorts of in this show tonight. Yep. You've made lots of appearances, buddy. Yeah. Well, but it is going to be a hell of a match, and I can't wait for that one. But then we also had a really cool situation where Jamie got to choose Stephen Kirby's opponent, and Kirby got to choose the opponent for one of Jamie's guys. Which I think is very telling, maybe, of what's going to happen on Kirby's team. We could see that happen.
I mean, it could be a slight deviation from a certain wrestler's path, but let's go ahead and start talking about it. Jamie chose Sky, the MPX champion, the Texas Chainsaw, Sky de Lacrimosa.
In a non-title match.
In a non-title match.
Let's really point that out.
Yeah, it's like I actually had to like go over and it's like a non-title.
Oh, yes. Let's really point that out. It's non-title.
Yeah. But because it's like it would be just kind of weird for Kirby to go into Cold Day in Hell in this huge match and be the MPX champion, because that would tie up the MPX championship match.
Yep. Nope.
And that's not something you want at the Big Four.
It is not.
No. So this is going to be
very physical.
This
is going to be a very brutal match because, I mean,
they're both really good technically, but in their current iterations, they're also both very, I'm just going to hurt you until you stop
I was going to say,
moving.
if there's ever a time for Mr. Mayhem to make another appearance, I mean, granted, we should save it for Cold Day in Hell, but he might need it against Sky.
He may just go, completely Mr. Mayhem straight until the end of Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, he very well could be, and I could see that.
Against Jackson, he did pretty much.
Yeah, it was very similar. We didn't get not the full transformation, kind of like I said, it's a very likened to the Demon when it's the Demon and wins Finn Balor. Yeah. There's a whole video package. There's the red taped fist, that looks like blood, which is great. There's, Mr. Mayhem, which he's still got the jacket, which is cool, but the music's different and it's just a different attitude.
Yeah.
You saw it a little bit at Jackson. Maybe he will just be Mr. Mayhem all the way up until Cold Day in Hell. I like it more if it's sporadic, kind of like we did, because that was the only way he could get rid of Ryan and really kind of get vengeance. So I would like to see it maybe play off until Cold Day in Hell, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But that's going to be a hard-hitting match. And then we've got a match that we haven't seen in years. It's a one-on-one matchup that we haven't seen in years.
They had tag title feuds.
For Ryan Remington, Stephen Kirby chose Dmitry Alexandrov as his opponent, and Dmitry has been on fire.
Yes, and Mr. Match of the Night and Dmitry. This is obviously going to be Match of the Night, duh.
Oh yeah, and that's not just because it's Ryan's moniker. It's going to be Match of the Night because holy crap!
Great. You've got two men who, and as much as Ryan loves, and granted, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that I know he knows, but as much as it looks like Ryan loves teaming with Tommy, Ryan's solo run was so good, and I think he really enjoys that. And to see him kind of break off into another single match, I think Ryan does kind of excel in those. And you've got Dmitry, who's red hot and is on a warpath. And like I said, Dimitri's one of those, you can see it out there. He wants people to remember his matches. He wants to be the only thing talked about. He wants to steal the show. And
this, like I said, this could be a slight deviation for Dmitry Alexandrov on his hunt to take the MPX championship back, because, he could join up with Kirby after this.
I mean, Kirby hand chose him to go against Ryan. And if you do look at the history, this is what started Ryan's long reign of the Addicts champion, was he beat Dmitry. So, I mean, we could definitely.
This time there won't be Dave in a bear mask to, ruin it, though.
I don't know what we're talking about. That didn't happen. Ryan beat him clean. But no, this is going to be a phenomenal match. And yeah, like you said, Kirby handpicked him. So maybe this is a kind of tell sign of, oh, look, Dimitri's on Team Kirby.
Yep.
And it could be one of those things where Kirby's like, look, you help me, we win, I'll give you a title shot. So who knows? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because then again, who is Kirby to say that? Because again, we don't have a figurehead at MPX, but that's just another thing I like to argue for no reason.
Yeah. But of course, we've got those are the only 3 matches that have been announced. So this part's a little
only
shorter
3, and they're so great.
Yeah. But we've also got appearing. Tatum's going to be there. He's the MPX Addicts champion. We've got Palmer going to be there. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with him.
What monster is he hunting? Because looks like he already got rid of one cannibal.
Yeah, and the other one's kind of tied up in it. But then again, like you said, this also might lead to Palmer joining Team Kirby as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's like, who knows? But, CJ Ward, which means possibly Menage a Trois appearance as a tag team. Noah Navarre is going to be there. But most importantly, when it comes to the also appearings, like I said, guys, make sure you're there, because Livy Loca has announced that this may be her last appearance at MPX.
Good riddance.
She's going to kill you.
I know. Just kidding, Livy. I'm sorry. I love you. She should know that by now.
She will be there, and honestly, she has been talking about this is her last year. This is it after this year is done. We have kind of hoped that she would put it off for maybe 6 months. What with COVID,
get a full year.
Yeah, it's like what with COVID destroying a lot of wrestling for early on in the year. But well, it looks like she's sticking to her guns, which we absolutely respect.
Yeah.
And honestly, Livy, we love you. We'll miss you. And we hope that your final match is absolutely fantastic.
I was going to say, I'm really curious who it is. Like, because obviously we'd always said, I think a great end was Baby D. Mm-hmm. That obviously isn't happening. Her and Reza was actually a really good match.
It was.
And for, like you had said, we don't think Reza has really worked since COVID and everything. Mm-hmm. So to see her actually do that well was very impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very interested because I like when there's an end in, I like that kind of, like I said with Baby D. I like that if it goes back to some type of history.
Yeah.
But there's not much history to go off of if it's not Baby D. So it's going to be either just a kind of.
I was like, I can only think of one other woman wrestler from MPX that time frame that she might go up against, but she ain't coming back to MPX anytime soon.
No. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what it is, and I know Livy will put it all out there, so it's going to be a good match.
Yeah,
she's not going to let it not be a good match. So
yeah, and honestly, we're both looking forward to and dreading this match. So make sure you guys are there or you're watching live on the network. She said that she's going to have her merchandise at half off. So if you don't already have Livy Loca merch, get it. Because honestly, some of the more comfortable stuff I've worn.
So I was going to say, do you think you had one on?
I thought I had grabbed it, but I grabbed the way I've been feeling lately, I need my, good feeling shirt.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, Public Enemy is going to be it's going to be a heck of a night. It's going to be an important night altogether because this is going to set the stage for December 19th. This is going to, spell the end for one side or the other on that one.
Yeah. It's definitely going to set things up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a more detailed picture of the Ultimate Senator match and Cold Day in Hell and everything.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to watch it on the network for $9.99.
And honestly, if you don't already have them, get your season passes for this month because, you get pay for 3, get 1 free.
Pretty much. Yeah. You get the season pass and you get 4 great shows for the price of 3. And let's not forget, you're getting, Public Enemies.
Uh-huh.
We're getting the 12th show, whatever that one's called.
I don't know.
Cold Day in Hell. And then we're getting everyone's favorite time of year, Time Warp.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it out there. I don't give a fuck if they haven't announced it yet. It's Time Warp, damn it.
Time Warp. But it's like, and also they actually have announced that if you pay the $9.99 with your network subscription, you actually get the live casting for free on the network as well. So if you can't make it out, watch it.
Yep.
Yeah. Because things are getting really good.
It's heating up in December.
So, honestly, I guess that's all the time we've got for the night. That's all we've really got to talk about as well.
I can keep talking.
We can. We can keep talking for a long time. We start talking about other stuff. But let's go ahead and call it here. Godspeed with you guys.
See y'all Tuesday.
What's up, wrestling fans? Thanks for listening. If you liked the show, make sure you like, share, and follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to MPX Rehab. You can also follow us on YouTube and Facebook for more MPX and Texas wrestling-related content. Want to support us even more? We have a Patreon and merchandise you can buy at any shows you meet us at. Just look for Team Certified Mark. Thanks again, and as always, keep it kayfabe, wrestling fans. Mark out.